Good evening, friends, and welcome to Insight. I'm your host, Pat Gagliardo, and tonight we'll be discussing hypnosis with my guest, Jim Spinnato. Welcome my guest and my friend tonight, Jimmy Spinnato, to Insight. I know it's Jimmy.
That's all right.
Jimmy, it's such a pleasure to have you back here again.
Nice to see you again.
Thanks, Jimmy.
You got the hottest show on the station, I hear.
Well, I don't know. We all have good shows on this station.
Your lines are going crazy.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's a big need out there, Jimmy, so we try to fill that as best we can. Well, I try. I do my best. Now, Jimmy, you do hypnosis, and we know that there are different kinds of hypnotists. We know that there are...
Psychotherapists, hypnotherapists. For me, I'm a stage hypnotist.
Which means?
Which means I hypnotize people for entertainment purposes only.
Okay.
As you know, I do a lot of colleges. I'm in the middle of a little tour right now. And some comedy clubs and some corporate work.
Okay.
And we go, we hypnotize people, we have a good time, and everybody's happy.
And you do a lot of your own self-style. You learn as you go, sort of. Sort of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of.
Okay. The type of hypnosis we have, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, friends, we have a couple of volunteers that decided to come tonight, and they're waiting for us a little bit off stage. And so Jimmy and I, after we get into our interview and kind of familiarize you, and I want to learn a little bit more myself with hypnosis and some of the things that Jim does, then we're going to go to our guest, our two hypnotized guests. But
hypnotic subjects.
Our hypnotic subjects. There we go.
There you go.
And we're going to show you what hypnosis is all about to some degree. Speaking of degrees, Jim, there are different levels of hypnosis.
Many levels, many levels. Some people go extremely deep. Those are the best subjects for an entertainment show. Some go not so deep, and some go in the middle of the road.
Mediocre.
Yeah, and the people who don't go as deep as others have a tendency to snap out of it in the middle of a show. And the people, obviously, that are very deep, those are the ones that we work with the most, and they make the best subjects.
You know, I do hypnosis, you know that myself. I don't do it for stage. I do it more for habits and things like that, regression. And I find that there are certain levels of depth, I guess you could say depth, has to do with a person's ability to relinquish control.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And, you know, I get asked that question. I want, from your point of view, I'd like to ask you, why do you suppose some people can go under very easily? And can you tell the viewers the myths about hypnosis, like you don't literally go to sleep and wake up? And
Right, sleep is just a word that's used. And it resembles sleep. A hypnotic state of mind, as you know, resembles sleep, but it really isn't sleep. Actually, the person is much more aware than they ever are. And geez, I forgot your original question. I think I'm hypnotized.
We do that to each other. We do that to each other. It's the energy. You know what it is, too? We're hyper.
You and I are both hyper. That must be that Italian thing.
It probably is. You know, that hyper thing, it makes it real difficult, too, to relinquish control, because you can't focus.
Which is the thing with hypnosis. People say, in fact, I was telling the subjects earlier, people wonder who can be hypnotized. Everybody can be hypnotized. Well, actually, there are two groups of people that can't. Infants, mentally handicapped people, because they don't have the ability to concentrate. But if you can concentrate, you can be hypnotized. I also told them that everybody can be hypnotized, but not everybody can be hypnotized every day.
Right.
So I've had people come to the show, try to become hypnotized, they don't experience hypnosis, and they walk away upset, and I tell them, look, it doesn't mean you can't be hypnotized, it means tonight's not your night. Next time I'm here, you try it again.
Right.
So everybody can, but not everybody can every day. And because I do a lot of colleges, I'm dealing with a lot of young kids, 18, 19, 20 years old, never been exposed to a hypnotist, but they want to try it. And the biggest question I get is, well, how about if I become hypnotized and I don't wake up? Always get that.
Right. Physical
impossibility. You become hypnotized, and if I were to leave, you go from a hypnotic state of mind to a normal sleep, and then you would wake up as you normally do every day. I was also telling them that 10, 15 minutes of hypnosis is like a 2-hour nap. So it's great for relaxation.
It certainly is, and self-meditation through hypnosis.
I think Jamie's so relaxed right now, we're going to have to check her out.
Yeah. Our subjects, Mary and Jamie, we'll be talking with them in just a few minutes. As Jim said a little bit earlier, Jim is a stage hypnotist, but nonetheless, you're not going to create, that's a good point I want to mention too. People ask often about, will people do something under hypnosis
No.
that they wouldn't normally do?
No,
What
unless-
about creating a circumstance?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Unless you create a circumstance, you
Okay.
know the answer to that.
Well, I do,
If-
but the viewers need to know.
Right. So if you hypnotize someone, if say I would hypnotize Mary, I say, Mary, smack Patty. She's not going to smack it because she's not that type of person.
Right.
But if I say, Mary, Patty's doing this and Patty's doing that and you're in danger, you got to smack her. And then she would if you set up that circumstance.
Right.
You know.
Now, would they do that in all circumstances, like not only for like self-protection? What about another kind of a circumstance, making them do something like, say, a basically shy person? How can hypnosis help a shy person to be a little more outgoing?
Well,
Or an
again,
introvert,
that's a job for
an extrovert.
That's a job for a hypnotherapist, which is something I wouldn't deal with on stage. You know.
Okay.
So I mean, next question.
Okay.
Again,
Then
really,
we'll-
that's a hypnotherapist's
okay,
job. And
let's do this then.
in fact, I don't even deal with weight loss or habit
Yep.
control. The only thing I would do is stop smoking. I do. If
Yeah.
people come up on stage and want to stop smoking, I'll do that. But I won't do, I'm a shy person. Can you make me an outgoing person?
Right.
Or I need to go on a diet. I say, look, you go to a hypnotherapist.
Okay, then let's go to phase two. Now, I watched a stage hypnotist. Oh God, I can't remember how long back. On one of the shows, I don't know, Primetime 2020, one of those shows, and they made them do something silly. Now, if you've got a
Like
real
cluck like a chicken.
yeah, like
Where
cluck
did that
like a
come
chicken.
from?
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know
I
a
don't know.
hypnotist in the world that does that.
Okay. Well, just like James Cagney always said, you
Well,
dirty rat, and he never did. So, okay, well, we could throw that out to the wind. Okay, what would you do then as a stage?
What do I do during my
Yeah.
show? Well, I get up there first of all and I explain to them what hypnosis is, which is simply an extension of suggestion. Actually, let me stick with that for a minute because a lot of people still don't understand what that is. Hypnosis is simply a state of mind that's very susceptible to suggestion. And you obtain that state of mind through suggestion. So someone wants to become hypnotized, they come on stage, they listen to my suggestion of sleep, and if they concentrate enough, they'll experience hypnosis. All right. Once they're up there and they're hypnotized, and I've eliminated the people who weren't able to experience hypnosis. Now I have just the people who are really, truly hypnotized. Then we do, silly things, nothing embarrassing. One of the things I do is I'll blow up a balloon, a normal party balloon, and I say to them, this balloon weighs 1,000 pounds, you can't lift it up. Now, the sight of someone trying to lift up a party balloon is funny.
Right.
You know.
Or gluing their hands together.
Actually, that's a test. Actually, that's a test that tells me who's susceptible or not.
And how deep that person will go.
Yes. Yes. At the beginning, I do give them all a test. One of the tests I give is a sway test where I have them standing up, their hands down to the side and closing their eyes with their head forward and tell them that, they're rocking back and forth. The people who rock back and forth are the most susceptible.
Right.
The other test is the hand clasping test, as you mentioned. You tell them to do this and concentrate on how that their hands are glued, and now you can't get them apart. Well, if they can't get them apart, they're a good subject, and you definitely want to deal with them.
Right. Okay. Hold on, Jimmy.
Okay.
Jim and I will be back with your phone calls and our guest, Mary and Jamie, right after this. Stay with And we're back with Jim and our subjects, Mary and Jamie. Hello?
This is Mary. This is Mary. This is Jamie, who I just met probably a half an hour ago. They wanted to try hypnosis, so we went into another room, and I attempted to induce a state of hypnosis. Mary, why don't you just tell the people how you felt during the induction process and how you're feeling now?
Well, he counted us down numerically from 10 to 1 or something like that. It was very relaxing. I could feel my muscles, all the tension in my muscles relaxing. Very heavy feeling.
How do you feel now?
I can still feel it. I can still feel that relaxation.
Sure. As I was telling you before, when you become
I still
hypnotized...
feel heavy.
Yeah, when you become hypnotized, you hypnotize muscles that you very seldom do, which is why a lot of people will feel like this. This is Jamie over here. Jamie, can you explain the process and how you feel now? And how you
Yeah,
felt
I
then?
also felt very relaxed, like I was part of the chair, and I was very aware of feeling that way, my breathing, and it was out of my control, and it happened very quick.
Now, the induction only took probably 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah.
But do you feel like you've taken a nap?
Yeah.
Like a 2-hour nap, maybe?
And I still haven't quite woken up yet.
You feel real relaxed?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Jamie, just look at me for a second. And if I just touch you on the forehead and say the word sleep, sleep deeper and deeper, feeling so comfortable and so relaxed, feeling so comfortable and so relaxed. As you sit in the chair, you feel so comfortable and so relaxed. Now, I gave them a post-hypnotic suggestion earlier that when I said the word sleep, that she would re-experience the state of hypnosis, which she's in right now, feeling very comfortable and very relaxed. If we had enough time, I could do a whole show, but I guess we have, well, no, we have other plans. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring her out of this very slowly and give her a suggestion that she'll be, wide awake and very relaxed and very refreshed. Jamie, I'm going to count, excuse me, I'm going to count from 1 to 5 one more time, and as I say each number, you'll feel yourself becoming more and more aware of your surroundings and more awake. And when I say the last number 5, your eyes will open, you'll be completely awake. You'll be completely refreshed and relaxed like you've taken a little nap, and you'll feel very good. Now, I want you to get ready to wake up. 1, you're starting to come out of this now, feeling very comfortable and very relaxed. 2, feeling real good about yourself, like you've taken a little nap, feeling great. 3, feeling real good, feeling real happy to be on the Pat Gagliardo show. 4, almost there on the next number, eyes open, wide awake. 5, eyes open, wide awake, feeling very comfortable and very relaxed and very alert. How you doing, Jamie?
Good.
How you feel?
Like I've just woken up.
You just woke up. Okay. Well, how about you guys in the studio giving her a nice big round of applause here, would you please? Thanks very much. Thanks very much, Mary. Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Why don't you come back over here with me, Jimmy? Thank you, girls. Rest comfortably now. And we're going to take some of your phone calls for those of you who've been waiting for us patiently on the lines. And if you have some questions for my guest, Jim. Go ahead, Bill from New London. You're on.
Hi, I have a question for Jim.
Bill, what's up?
Hi. I have a question about hypnosis and athletics.
Yeah, in fact, a friend of mine, Frank Santos from Providence, was working with the New England Patriots, hypnotizing some of those guys, yeah.
I was wondering if hypnosis could be used to enhance athletic performance or cure
Without question.
or help athletic ailments. I have a chronic problem with Achilles tendonitis, and I'm athletic, and I was wondering if hypnosis could be used to help get rid of this acute problem I have.
Well, obviously you've contacted a normal doctor, right? Your regular physician?
About 5. I've even spoken with Pat Gagliardo about it.
Is that right, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, like I said, I know of a lot of people in the sports world that have approached hypnotists. Like I said, my friend Frank Santos in Providence dealt with the entire team of the Patriots. Absolutely, absolutely.
Is he expensive?
I'm sorry?
Is he expensive? Would you recommend this to me?
I wouldn't recommend Frank to you only because he's up in that area. There are many of those people in this area that are well qualified. Just look it up in your phone book or call L&M Hospital.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Thank
Bill,
you.
let me expound on that too, Bill, for a second here. Yes, hypnosis can be very, very beneficial in working with controlling pain. Okay, we don't know about taking pain away, but certainly by controlling. You've been in the last 2 years. I've been doing some research in this, and I know that they're working in depth with patients to go to the dentist and use hypnosis, post-hypnotic suggestion. So thank you for your call, Bill.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, have a pleasant night. Go ahead, Jan from North Haven. You're on the line.
Hi, Pat and Jim. Very interesting show this evening. I almost fell asleep when I looked at that first demonstration there. I want to ask you, Jim, what do you think of the amazing Kreskin? Is he a magician, a hypnotist?
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Actually, believe it or not, Kreskin and I have the same agent in Long Island. Believe it or not. Well, just like me, I mean, because I started off as a magician years ago. Kreskin did as well. He's doing some unbelievable hypnotic work, and yeah, he's a hypnotist and he is a magician both. And more importantly, he is one heck of a showman.
An entertainer. That he is.
He's one heck of a showman.
That he is.
Yeah.
He calls himself a mentalist, but
well,
I think it's just a matter of terminology,
yeah, I think
basically.
So too. His new thing now is he's got a $10,000 challenge. If anyone can prove that there's any such thing as hypnosis, he'll give them a $10,000 challenge. He's walking the line.
Okay, we're going to call him the amazing Randy Kreskin now. Is that what we're going to do?
Confusing gentleman. I don't know.
Thank you so much for your call, Jan.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Victoria from Westerly. You're on the line.
Yeah, my question has to do with recalling past lives and UFO abductions. I'm sort of a skeptic myself, but when people do recall that they have lived past lives or they have been abducted through hypnosis, is that real, or is that their own imagination taking over, going away with them even when they're under a hypnotic state?
Well, you know, as I mentioned before, I do hypnosis only for entertainment purposes only. I know of hypnotists who do age regressions and who do past lives. I don't feel like I'm qualified to do that, and sometimes I question if they're qualified to do that. So I really don't have an answer other than, Patty, you could probably answer that much better than anybody.
I do that. I do take people back through regression. Normally, those who seek me for regression in a past life, you have to understand something, Victoria. Jimmy and I both share this equally, I'm sure. Because of the ability I have, I know how powerful the mind is. One has to ascertain, first of all, if a party that is under hypnosis, and there are varying degrees, as we spoke of earlier, if one is really remembering or recalling an incident, or if in fact the mind is projecting something that might be simple wishful thinking. It is very, very in-depth, and as Jim said, and I go along with it 100%, persons that deal with it must be qualified. They must know what they're doing. There are certain things you have to look for with someone under hypnosis, and you know, it's like anything else. And the best way to do it, I guess, is like through repetition and through after a while you just get to know simply by categorizing. I guess that's the best way. Thank you so much for your call, and thank you for watching.
You know, I was watching Oprah yesterday. Did you see Oprah?
I watch her as often as I can.
Did you see where they had people were building rooms in their houses?
Houses, yeah.
Did you see that?
Well, in part.
All right, and one of the questions was the same thing that, is it Jan? Victoria, I'm sorry.
Victoria.
Because Victoria said, you know, is that real? Well, they were asked the same question yesterday. If you go in that room and you think you see somebody, if it's real to you, it's real.
Right, exactly. Well, that stands true for that old adage, whatever you believe to be true for you is true for you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jimmy. And those of you who are waiting for me on the lines, please be patient. First of all, I want to say goodnight to my guest, and then I'll be right back with you after these commercial messages. Jimmy, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
We'll have to do it again.
Sure.
We'll be back. And welcome back, and we're going to go straight to the lines. Thank you for your patience. Go ahead, North Haven.
Hi, Pat. I have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
I want to ask you, will my husband be changing jobs soon?
First immediate response that came to my mind is he's waiting for something. There's already something in the works, and that can only mean to me he's either just waiting to hear that it's coming. It's inevitable. It's not something like wishful thinking. At this point, I feel it's in the works, it's waiting, and I'm going to give you within 3. Don't ask me 3 what. That's exactly what came to my mind. Be 3 weeks, 3 months, something within 3. The change I'm feeling okay about. The mobility may be a little less. There may not be as much. So it'll be better all the way around.
Great, okay. And the last question, he has an appointment with an orthopedic tomorrow.
Yep.
He's been having problems with his knee.
Okay.
How do you think this will turn out?
Oh, boy. Has surgery already been mentioned? A procedure?
No, it hasn't.
Okay, well, it's a possibility because what's coming into my mind, I do not claim to be a doctor, a diagnostician, but I have to go with the symptoms, if I may, or the energy that is conveyed to me. And it's not so much the knee, the front, as I'm getting behind.
You know what? You're exactly right. He did mention the back of the knee.
Okay, and that's why I'm telling you that there's damage that occurred probably some time back. And over a course of months, probably a few years, it's just gotten worse, and it's just now to a point where he's feeling it. But the damage, I feel, is already there. So don't be surprised if after X-ray, maybe some MRI, that a procedure isn't mentioned, and it probably a laser treatment or something that's not going to be too difficult. The doctor that he is going to, I feel, is a very together person and someone who's constantly looking to educate himself, you know, to get new procedures, new this, new that.
He recently was, I think, put the head of a surgeon in a particular hospital.
There you go.
You're right on target.
Okay.
I enjoy your show
so he's
very
in
much.
great hands, so not to worry. Thank you very much.
I enjoy your show very much.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Pat.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Go ahead, Middletown. You're on the line.
Hi, Pat. How are you tonight?
Good evening. Well, thank you.
I have a question about a guy I've been dating. And do you see it going anywhere?
Nope.
Or not at all?
No. Let me tell you why. You asked me the question, but I read your thoughts to tell me that, oh God, is Pat going to confirm what I'm feeling or my suspicions? He hasn't been able to give himself to you 100%, and you've known that. I think you've been feeling the apprehension. It's because other things are going on in his life. That doesn't mean there isn't caring between the two of you, but I'm not feeling that it can progress as quickly as you would like it to do. So I'd have to say, with the feelings that I'm getting about it, although communication could improve, I don't feel the patience from you in it taking the time it's going to need. So I'm going to say I don't think it will go the way you want it to in the time frame that you want it to.
But maybe if I took
If
a little
you
time.
exercise some patience and some space for him, possibly. But he feels sometimes, you're a very intense woman. You possess a lot of, the energy about you is powerful, meaning when you want something, you want it. When you do it, you do it. There's a lot of forced energy about you, meaning you don't sit back and you're not the kind of woman to, you know, have someone just, you know, pamper you. You take charge of your life. I'm the same way. That kind of energy can be intimidating to some men who want to feel macho all the time. Okay. So you're going to have to work on that.
All right. And one other thing. I'm
Sure.
looking into refinancing my home, and how do you think that's going to go?
Well, I got to tell you, with what I've been hearing about the prime and everything right now, it'd probably be the best time to do it. Things right now are looking the best they have in probably 20 years. So I'd say go for it.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Pat.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Okay, go ahead, Bristol. You're on the line.
Hi, Pat. How are you?
Well, thank you.
I have a first question.
Yeah?
How will my financial status be in the next 6 months?
Okay, I'm going to, caller, I'm going to repeat to you exactly the impression that came to me. Money improvement and improving, meaning getting it in one hand and it going out the other. For some reason, I'm feeling money coming in, but then having to take care of some things that need to be taken care of. So, okay, and like payoff. I don't know quite how to put that to you, but I'm not saying every nickel, but you'll be okay. At least you won't have such a burden on your back. Okay. So it'll be okay. And then you might go back to being somewhat of the same.
Okay.
What was your other question?
My second question, I really like this guy, but I don't know if he's the right guy for me.
What does he do that worries you?
He's an alcoholic.
I thought so. Well, then I'm going to tell you this. Since I felt that the problem, and it is a problem, I will tell you that, I'm not demeaning this individual, I'm going with the energy that is presented to me in my impressions tell me that this is a problem and it is not going to get corrected, it is not going to get better until he wants that to happen. So I will tell you this, before you go through a lot of frustration that winds up into resentment, I would not keep all my eggs in this one basket.
Okay, do you see anybody for me with the same
You need to do something about yourself for a while. There's two areas about you that come to me, maybe something self-image-wise and something else that you want to do with career or something you want to change, something that's personal. So I know that you're going to be doing that probably in the year 94. So I would say not until later, the latter part of the year, do I find you really getting involved with someone and wanting it to really work. Because right now you're running through some uncertainties too.
Yeah.
So with that, work on yourself first, become happy with yourself, and then get on with your personal life. Then it will be right for you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Go ahead, East Line, you're on the line.
Hi.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Finally, I waited for this phone call 4 months.
Ooh.
That you believe 4 months that you believe that. I'm so excited. I get so excited. I can talk to you. I can't believe I talk to you. I'm so excited, believe me. I'm so happy. Okay, I have two
Well, you got me excited now. What is your question?
Okay, I have two questions for you, okay? First, my future for my work and for my house. I'm so messed up these problems I have right
Okay,
now.
Okay, let me do them one at a time. I need a little volume on this call, please. Let me say this about the job situation for you, caller. I'm not feeling that you're in dire straits right now, meaning that you'll be out of work next week, next month. However, as you speak to me, I know that there's already been changes in your workplace, and it's like all around you, basically, and hasn't affected you directly yet. But I believe the end result is that it will. As far as being totally out of work, no. But I did feel that there would be some changes, and you'll find them in the crux of the cold months. So that's any time now until probably April. And I think that's why you were concerned about your home. But I don't feel that there's a move pending. I'm not feeling anything that's in the way of doom for you at this point. What you need to do is just try to allay some of your fears by doing some things that make you happy. Not to worry so much. Okay? Okay. And I'm glad you got through.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Thank you very much. And thanks for your patience and tuning in every week.
Okay, it's another one.
Okay.
I met this guy, and I go out with him. I'm so happy. Everybody's so happy. We go together. And all of the sun disappears.
The bottom fell out. Well, well, you were happy, but it was not genuine, because I feel there was very many other problems, and he wasn't being honest with you about a few aspects of his life. One is probably to do with another individual. That's why he just left and didn't have the courage to tell you. So, but you'll be okay. There won't be someone right away, but there will be someone. Thank you for calling.
I want him.
Okay, well, I don't think so. But in the long run, you'll be better off. Thank you. And I'll be right back with more of your calls right after this, so stay with me. And we're back and going straight to the lines. Go ahead, Nora, what you're on?
Hi, I have a question regarding my ex-husband, if I'm going to have any more problems as far as my son.
Oh, boy. I'd love to tell you no. I can't do that. Unfortunately, what I'm feeling here is an awful lot of, there's just an undercurrent that's very, very unsettling to me, and it angers me, if I can be so bold, to see that this little guy has got to be in the middle of it. If you can get an intermediary, meaning through either the services, through the court, or through your attorney, this has got to stop. And there are, laws are changing. And the little guy, your son, I know he's not a baby, but nonetheless, I'm feeling a lot of insecurity from him, and I'm feeling some frustrations, and this has got to stop. So you need to get in touch with an authoritative person and try and put an end to this, and use an intermediary if you have to. They're available.
You mean as far as visitation?
A third party. Exactly.
And
you can't even be in the same room with this man.
Yeah.
I feel fur flying, and this isn't good.
So,
Got to get past this anger and this undercurrent and try to work through it.
Well, what about, as far as him abducting him again?
Well, that's what I'm trying to talk to you about. That's why I said get an intermediary, so there can be someone present, and that would not be the case. I don't trust him either. And that's why I'm saying get a hold of an authoritative person and get through the services and get a third party.
Okay, now I've had the opportunity to do something to go on a little bit with my life. Do you think that's going
to? Especially in the last month or so, month and a half, I feel someone in your life important, but yet I think you need to put that on hold, if I may, until you get the situation cleared up for your son.
No, as far as going on with work or anything like that, I'm afraid to leave him. That's what,
I understand that. That's why I said please get an intermediary, get a third party, someone that is, that number one, that you can trust, and that he's not alone. And you can do that through the services. Child Services, Youth Services. I don't know the exact name, but you can find it out through the courts and your lawyer.
You see him with me, though, if I do that and being able to go on?
You got a battle ahead of you. I'm not going to tell you you don't. That's why I want to encourage you to get an authoritative person to be in your corner, so to speak. But he shouldn't have to suffer the sins of the adults.
Yeah.
Okay?
I understand. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Waterford. You're on the line.
Yes, I have two questions. The first is, do you see a change in my job that would involve moving my family?
Did this come up before? It was talked about, but nothing done? No actual planning?
That's correct.
Okay. Well, not this time, unfortunately. First impression tells me that it will come up again, and it will go into the planning stage. So I'm going to answer your question in the affirmative. Yes, there will be a move, but I'm going to tell you this. Even though you may be a little reluctant and have some apprehension, it's going to be for the better in the long run.
Okay.
All right?
Okay,
what was your other question?
And
You're welcome.
My second question is, do you see my wife and I having additional children?
Well, you have to answer a question for me. Mm-hmm. Are there already two?
Yes, there are.
Well, two kept coming into my mind. Two. So I'd have to say maybe not right away. That doesn't mean, I don't want to give you dismaying news and say to you, don't, try even. My impression said two. Okay, so that very well may mean there can't be any more than two, or by the time you may decide you don't want any more at this point. In the immediate future of like a year and a half, I'd say no, because I only sensed the two.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Good night. Go ahead, Danielson, you're on the line.
Hi. I was wondering, where I work at my job, there's a new administration taken over, and I was wondering if you see in the future if they're going to revamp the whole thing and hire new people.
They have to. They have to. I'm sorry, caller. I don't mean to interrupt, but I have to interject when my energy takes priority. And with you, unfortunately, it has done that. Yes, they have to do a complete revamping of the system, and I'm feeling departmental changes, and probably, hypothetically, if there's 5 doing a job, it may boil down to 3 or 2. I can understand your fears, and you have reason to have this apprehension, because yes, there will be definitely some shifting around of people as well as shifting around of job and job duties. So, and you haven't been there, you haven't been there very long?
Well, I've been there for 5 years.
That's not very long. When you have this kind of, to me, very long is like 12 years, 15 years, 18 years, then you're talking a substantial amount of time. 5 years is, you're low on the totem pole, so to speak. But as I said, there is a reason for you to have some apprehension. So if you're thinking of maybe, wanting to put out some resumes or looking into other areas, then I would encourage you to do that.
Okay, my other question is, back a while ago, last January, you had spoken to my boyfriend on the phone, and you had told him that you'd see full-time in his future. And that
I had seen what?
Full-time. He only works part-time. And you'd seen maybe full-time in his future, and nothing's happened yet.
Yet.
But it might.
Not yet. Timing hasn't come past for him yet. Cold months, I still feel full-time. So he has to be patient.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And we're back and going right to the lines again. Go ahead, Norwich, you're on.
Hi, Pat.
Good evening.
First of all, I want to say you have a great show.
Thank you.
And I'm calling, I'd like to ask about a member of my family who's having marriage problems, and she's also not feeling well, and it's doing a number on her, and also getting her child very angry. And I don't know, she's trying to hold on to every little thread, hoping for the best.
And we both know that that's not going to happen as far as trying to salvage this relationship, because I think it was probably doomed right from the beginning. My concern is emotionally and mentally as well as physically for this young woman. So is there counseling? Because I feel as though it's been discussed, but...
Her part.
Yeah, okay, but even if he doesn't concede, she needs it. She's got to have the vent. She needs the sounding board. And for some reason, I feel she's not eating very well. That bothers me. There needs to be Some of us do it too well, and some of us don't do it well enough. But even in that, it's important that we have right and proper nutrition, and I don't feel that that's the case here.
Well, she's not well also.
Okay, right. Okay. Second thing then, she needs to work with a nutritionist as well as working on her physical problems. The physical problem I don't feel, though, is life-threatening. I feel that because she's so debilitated emotionally that she's not healing. She's not getting her strength up. So she must stay with counseling. And if she's not comfortable with a counselor...
No, she is. She loves it.
Wonderful.
It helps her, but
then,
she just had a very serious operation.
Okay. And, well, then she needs the recovery time. But,
right.
If you've watched my show, you know that I'm a real stickler, if I may, about positive thinking.
Oh, I know, and I've been to your classes too.
Okay, so you know, and I know what that can do.
You.
Okay, good. And she needs people like you around her to be
But I'm not there, Pat. I'm out of state.
Well, there's phones, there's letters, there's postcards, there's cards, there's all ways to stay in touch with her.
Okay, but I just wanted to ask
you
about
it time.
That. Okay.
Give it time. She will come out of this. It might take a little bit longer, but she'll be okay.
Like, is she just holding on for the best, you know?
Well, then she needs people like you around her to be just a listening ear, to be a sounding board for her. But the counselor, I think, as she gets better, as she physically improves, I think the counselor will be able to, you know, give her more and more and more about her life, and that not to wish for things that are negative.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You too. Go ahead, New London. You're on the line.
Good evening, Pat. First off, I was wondering if you could see if our financial situation was going to change anytime in the near future.
Hasn't it already gone through some changes?
Yeah, straight downhill.
Well, I'd like to tell you I see some improvement, but I'm stretching the some. I feel like you're going to probably stay in this rut for a little while. If you're thinking of maybe additional work or something, and even at that, I can't guarantee, unfortunately, I can't guarantee anyway, but I mean, I don't feel that that's immediate for you. So it seems like you might have to stay in that mud puddle for a little while, but it won't always be that way.
Well, there's absolutely no income coming into the house at the moment.
Well, you know, there's state aid, and if that's what it takes, that's what you have to do, because I just can't feel that there's anything readily available to you. And if it means going to parents, although in your situation I don't feel that they can be much help, friends or whatever, then you have to do what you have to do to survive. It won't always be this way, but I think it's going to be a little bit more of a mud puddle before it gets better.
Okay, and secondly, I've been offered a contract for a book that I wrote, and I'm really not very happy with it. Do you think I'm going to be able to successfully negotiate changes?
I was going to say, if you've been, is this by a regular publishing firm,
yes.
Not a, okay. Then at this point, you really, a contract is better than none. So I think, I check with my attorney, of course, but if you've gotten a contract, you're very fortunate just to get that done. That's a very tough field to get into, very tough. A contract is better than none.
Yeah, this is true.
So, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye.
Go ahead, Waterford, you're on the line.
Yes, good evening, Pat.
Go ahead.
My question concerns, I've held on to my house. My ex-husband has been laid off for 2 years and not gainfully employed, and I've held on to the house for 2 years. I'm wondering if I'm still going to be able to hold on to it, or...
Boy, it's been a real struggle, though. Ooh, the last 3 or 4 months, I feel you really, really have been struggling. And now with the winter time upon us, well, you're a fighter, though, and that's probably why you've held on to it for 2 years. I think you'll probably continue to hold on to it for a while, but I'm feeling by 94, 95, you getting out from under, probably through sale. Mm-hmm. And by then, I'm hoping, too, that economics and real estate will improve some. I don't think that this is the greatest time to be selling right now. It is for buyers, but I don't think it's so great for the sellers. So if you can hold on to it for a little while, I think I would try to encourage you to do that. But I do feel within a 2-year time frame, you're getting out from under it.
2 years.
Yeah.
Also, my second question is, does it look like I'll be married in the future?
Yes, I will answer that question, positive, but depending on what you call the future. I mean, if you're talking immediate, no. In that same time frame, probably so.
Okay. And
94, 95. I'll push it into the 95 time frame.
Oh, and job-wise, will I be staying in the same one or moving on? I've had an offer.
Yeah. Well, make certain before you take that, though, that you really weigh the pros and the cons with that new offer, because I felt it would be some kind of work that you're not thrilled about. That you do it and you'd be okay with it, but you are the kind of person, you have to really be into what you're doing. You can't just get up and do a job like me. This is real important to me. I give it 150. You do too. So really, really check those pros and cons, okay?
Okay, I thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you would like to share an idea with me, you may fax it to me at area code 203-886-9429 or write to me at Insight, Post Office Box 991, New London, Connecticut 06320. Thank you for watching Insight.